I wanted to create art that would make a difference in a community, that would make a positive impact. So there isn't any hierarchy in art. I believe in saleable art too, and artists that make a living through their art. But my passion had to do with art that could educate, create awareness, and make a difference to the people who not only make art, but also see art.
So for me, it's art advocacy, because I believe after the experience I've had, the best way for me to go back to making art has to be something that means something.
I grew up doing printmaking and doing all kinds of mediums. Now, if I create art, it's typically a very large installation.
I believe that the art that I do now is just sharing my story. And I think that artful act of sharing my story helps our project create stories.
So it's a project. We like to say it was built and born out of love, loss, crisis, and then community voices.
5 years ago, I lost my son, Patrick. He completed his life after struggling with mental illness for many years. In that event, I was not myself. I really didn't even want to go outside until finally I went to my studio and started pounding clay. And that action brought me so much relief. It was a step towards a new life for me, in a sense, because I realized how helpful that was to me. And I took that concept and I talked to my friend Gary, and we talked about the idea of mask wearing, because I felt that if I was going to go back out into the public, I had to put on some kind of mask, because I certainly didn't feel good inside. From there, we went to one Girl Scout troop.
We were doing one workshop, empower young teens to be aware of mental health, be aware of mental fitness. And we felt like the process of making art, we could make a difference in them telling their story. That one workshop has now grown into 80 workshops, a 5-year project across the state.
We've asked people to think about what they need to have on that mask to make it their story, which each mask has a story. In the beginning, we often hear, I'm not an artist. I love clay, and we wanted to use that material for many reasons. It has health benefits, believe it or not, just touching clay, because it is part of the earth. Very simply, this is clay that was donated to us by Standard Ceramics in Pittsburgh, which is the largest clay distributor across the East Coast. And they were already familiar with my son Patrick, because he used to work at their making clay at one point. So when we approached them, of course, they were all in, which means thousands of pounds of clay that they have donated to us. We knew that would be good in our process. So we use clay that's prepared for each person, and they can either put it on a paper mask to give them a basis to help build up their idea of what mask they wear to hide,
portray, hide, minimize their own mental health struggles.
And then we give them tools. We give everyone these beautiful tools of, sometimes even in residencies, we make our own tools. Then they paint their mask at the end of the process, and we then take them home and put them in a bin, take them home, we put them in our kiln, and voila, they come out with these beautiful shiny surfaces and are suitable to carry and store as we do.
It's such a privilege to work with so many people across the state. Everyone is together in this. There is no discrimination in who suffers and who doesn't. And for us to we often, on the way home, we talk about our experiences, because they're all anonymous. The masks are anonymous, the stories are, but we feel like we're these little vessels that hold these stories. And we feel very privileged to have had these experiences.
I think once you create that environment that is very safe, and you give people something that they can create or use, the clay gives you the ability to completely control it. And that experience has changed my life, absolutely changed my life. And everybody I know has changed their life, because we can't stop talking about it. We can't encourage enough people to go and touch clay, write a song, there's just art has made such a difference in this mode of community engagement for myself and my community. That's the point. We want to make sure that people know that, and then they can take it to their communities. We are not art therapists or clinicians, but my experience working with Patrick trying to figure things out, it was really difficult. And so that is a really important part of what Carrie and I want to make sure people know is, first of all, they're not alone. Mm-hmm. It sounds cliche, but it really isn't. It is the truth. And the fact is, if you ask, there are people that can help.
In the end, what it means is you're creating a mask, and that mask tells your own unique story. And everyone has a story, and every story is different. And then that's what you see on display here. It's all of the stories coming together. It's the thread that ties every single residency, workshop, class together to say, we need this conversation about mental health. We need to have it. We're in a crisis, right?
For more from Mosaic, please like and subscribe to the channel or check out another video. To help support this project, please visit witf.org/mosaic.